Hey everybody, it's Jason. Thought I would take a few minutes and walk you through how to set up a template inside of your site. You can see here I've got my inner class HTML open, and just for a visual reference, what that is actually this document here. So what we're going to do is we're going to strip out this information from our code, not the actual div that's holding it all together, but just the content, and then we're going to put in that editable region inside of here, and we're going to save it as a template in DreamWeaver. It's going to automate a couple of things, and we'll go through it step by step. First thing you want to do is go into DreamWeaver. You want to make sure you've got your site selected. Okay. One of the things when you've got your site selected, you want to make sure is that you've got this button here set to site root. That's going to make sure that any links that we set up are going to use the root relative path that we've been learning throughout the semester. So I've got my site identified. I've got it pathed over to where all of my documents are, and you can see here in my files directory that I've got all of my week's assignments and whatnot. Right now what I've got open is my week 8 inner class HTML, and if I go through my code here, I notice that lines 63 through 73 are the headline, subheadline, and lorem ipsum that's represented in this design. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and strip that out. I like to put a little space between my opening and closing divs. I'm going to tab in so I get a nice nested feature here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Insert, Template Objects, and I'm going to make an editable region. What it's giving me here is a message saying that if I put in an editable region, what it's going to do is it's going to convert this document into a template, which is fine because we want to do that anyhow. I'm going to go ahead and toggle off the Don't Show Me This Again message because I do know this. And then I'm going to give the editable region a little bit of context, so call this the content area. I click OK. You can see here it's put in a little comment code. Let me highlight this line for you. This is what it just inserted into my code, okay? Of course, you know me, I like to keep things nested and organized, so I'm going to go ahead and break this down into separate lines. And then it displaced my closing div, so I'm going to make sure that I keep that to the next line. Oop. I'm just going to tab these in. So now inside of my content div, which closes at the same vertical level here, I have my content area. So then what I want to do is I want to go into File, and I'm going to Save As. Okay. And I'm going to, File, Save as Template. And I'm going to call this Video Tester, just as a reference that this is the template I'm making on film here. And I'm going to save that. I'm going to tell it to go ahead and update links. Alright. And now you can see that I've got a templates folder and I've got my video tester document. This is the About section that we did in class. This is the video tester that I just did. Okay? So now what I can do is I can close down this template and I can go ahead and start a new document. Emerson Flash site. I'm going to base it off of my video tester and I'm going to create. Okay? Now you can see that all of my content is grayed out except for this one key area, which is the content area. And within this content area, I can go ahead and put in whatever code I want. I can put in images, I can put in tables, I can put in forms, I can put in Google search code, I can put in content, whatever I'd like. As long as I've got it formatted correctly, it should appear inside of my content div that I've identified. Something that I didn't mention in class that you'll notice here is that actually the title of the document is still available as well. And what that allows us to do is change the title of the page, because even though you've based something on a template, Google and other search engines are going to read the title attribute to your page, and so you're going to want to change that on a regular basis. It's actually part of the final requirements. Okay. So now I've given it an updated title. I've put in some bunk content here. Let me put something at the end of this just so I have some frame of reference. And I'm going to do File, Save As. Now I'm going to go ahead and put it in my assignments, but I'm going to create a new folder here just for reference, okay? Call this Video Tests. That way we have something different than what we did in class, okay? And I'm going to call this Template Test 01. Okay? So now you can see I've got